guys, I just want to, wasn't going to do any serious talk on today's podcast, but I am going to now. There's a video getting around on socials, and I shared it in my story before, about Andrew Fafita, the ex-Australian New South Wales and Cronulla Shark front rower, formerly at one time one of the most devastating front rowers in the game, scored a famous try against Melbourne in the grand final, fuck you Storm, and he's on a podcast talking about his previous battles with mental health, and he discloses that at one time he tried to kill himself. It was around the time that Cronulla were getting done for peptides and all that shit was going on. It's been shared far and wide, probably not enough yet though, and it just got me thinking. There was a report a couple of weeks ago too that I was going to highlight, I was going to do a take on, but it sort of went by the wayside, and it was James Graham on his podcast or in an interview talking about his struggles with alcohol and his battle with mental health and his trips to rehab and everything coming out of it. And I hope this is more than just people coming out and championing Are You OK Day or the Black Dog Institute or anything like that. This is blokes coming out and bearing their soul, and I'm so glad to see it. So glad to see it. I said on the very first episode of this place this show that I believe that all the hype around mental health and people now saying, everyone pretending like everything's cool is bullshit, and especially for blokes my age, it's still a taboo subject. You're still not really meant to talk about it. Everyone gets on Facebook around Are You OK Day and writes Are You OK without actually checking on anybody. And even I find people who do check on you aren't ready for the conversation to come back, aren't ready for what's about to happen. They're asking okay, obviously with good intentions, but also not with the intention to sit there and hear what's coming back. So I really want to applaud. I was going to applaud James Graham a couple of weeks ago because he has been consistent with it. He hasn't just talked about it once. He's talked about it many times. He's got a fairly successful podcast now. He's a media personality. And some of the stuff he discloses, I wonder sometimes if the media bosses are sitting back going, man, we shut the fuck up. We don't need anyone to know you took time off to go to rehab, and we don't need anyone to know how badly you're struggling. You're still an employee, but I applaud him. It's a trend that I'm liking, right? It's a trend that needs to continue, and that's men sharing. And they're not doing it for likes, they're not doing it for clicks, they're actually bearing their soul. And if more men were bearing their soul, there'd be a lot less of us basically ending it all, because we're definitely the highest percentage of suicides out of all the suicide rates, us and teenagers, unfortunately. Men between 30 and 50 and then teenagers because of social media. But I think the problem is everyone's too happy with it just being an Are You OK on Facebook instead of actually checking in with people. And then when you do check in, actually listening. So I applaud those guys.